Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, she's back again. I'm talking about the lady who has given this industry so much to offer over the past 50 years as a SAG after Actors Equity actor, singer, writer, producer. She also performed tons of movies on stage, TV, cabaret, and all kinds of singer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the fabulous, the marvelous, and dear friend, Miss Rose.
Miss Rose Weaver. I am not ashamed of my age. That's who I am.
32. I understand. I get that myself. Greetings, Rose. And once again, welcome back to the Actor's Choice.
Thank you, Ron.
Sometimes good times with great artists as you know them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great people.
Some of those pictures that you put up there,
huh?
They're like great people. Some of those pictures that you put up that I was with, some great people.
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
They knew you. So what was it like thriving for 50 years in show business as a Black woman?
It was hard. I loved it. I had a good time, and I had to just keep on getting up because I got knocked down a lot.
Uh-huh.
You know, I was in that group of actresses who Alfre Woodard was like really popular then when I started. And one of my first movies was with the late Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. and Maureen Stapleton. I mean, that was a long time ago because I've been in the business, as you said, like for 50 years. A little bit more than that now because I'm 75 now.
Where? 70? Who? Now look at that picture right there. Look at that one. You and that's the picture of you. You know what that picture is. 50.
Yeah, B.B. Smith in L.A. used to do my hair. She did me and CCH Pounder and just everybody. She was wonderful.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. This is 9B, Tony. And this is the first movie.
Yeah, Viola was here because her sister was getting what's called a Pell Award. I was one of the first Black actresses to receive a Pell Award here in Rhode Island. And I received it down the same year that Stephen Sondheim did, as you saw in the picture. But that was Viola coming to celebrate her sister. And I know her, and I've known her since she was a young woman. And it was nice to see her and get a hug and give a hug.
Nice lady. That movie that she played in particular, she's had a lot of movies, but that one was The Hand. Remember that one, The Hand?
The Hand?
Yes. Where they were working for people, white folks.
The Help.
Yeah. Excellent.
The Help. That movie, I mean, there were some people who dumped on it, but that movie really depicted who my mother was. My mother was a housekeeper maid in Georgia, in Atlanta, for a family that was very wealthy. Often she cooked their food and babysat and raised their kids.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I was very jealous of that too, because I didn't get a chance to do the things I really wanted to do, like study piano or viola or some instrument. My mother was working all the time and I ended up being the full-time babysitter. But, you know, that's where it goes. I'm still here.
Yes, amen. Yes.
Amen.
What about earning pension, paying attention now? What about that?
Say that again?
I said, what about earning pension, paying attention now?
Oh, it's important for the young people and the people who are middle-aged even to pay attention now. You don't want to be a starving actor when you get to be my age. You do not. And a lot of young folks think,
I'm telling them, you hear what she's saying? Take that down, write that down.
Grammar and everything else. Yeah, we have a great time learning those parts and getting on stage and film and doing those shows, but you got to start saving that money right now because really Actors equity, you ain't going to get that much pension unless you've got like 50 years on Broadway. If you do regional theater, like I mostly did, the pensions are there, but they're very small.
Yes.
And you end up having to like figure out, how do you put the money together to have a good life if you're not getting Screen Actors Guild work that pays you very well? What are you going to do? And so if you're not thinking about it right now and you're out having a good time and partying and stuff like that, you better start thinking about it now, because things are not getting easier and things are not getting less expensive. Everything is going up. And I think with the new people that are going to come into office is going to help us out with that. But paying attention to it right now. I had to walk away from show business for about 7 years to earn the money that I knew I would need to take care of myself in case something really weird happened. And things did happen. I lost my son to cancer. I lost my husband. I lost my mother, and I had to take care of a lot of business for them. And without having some pension to retire and go and be with my son while he was dying of cancer, I would not have been able to do that. That was a blessing in disguise. And I look back and I really realize it now. But young people and middle-aged people, it's not too late. When I worked at UCLA for just 7 years, I became vested. And vested means that you will, when you retire, you will get a pension from those organizations that you're vested in. So Screen Actors Guild, I got vested. Actors Equity, vested. At SAG-AFTRA, of course, those combined. But we got vested, and you have to pay attention and start looking now at what's your age going to be when you retire? What's the requirement now for you to retire? When I retired, I could retire at 62 and get all of my Social Security except maybe for $25 a month. It wasn't worth it to wait. Once I realized that I was, gonna get almost all of my Social Security that I worked for all those years. And so young folks just got to pay attention and look at it and see how much you got to earn so that you can make 75, 80,000 a year retired.
I mean, you can't be the big car and a big house, can't be a star, all those things don't happen.
Well, I mean, if you got all of that, you got to figure out still how to hold on to it. You still got to pay the mortgage unless you paid it off, unless you got a big film and you can pay off your house. And if you have a house, most actors are like, 90% of us don't have a job.
Wow. I had a guy one time say something, I never forgot it. He said, "Brewington, you know what a star is?" I said, "No." He said, "That's rats spelled backwards."
Yeah.
I said, what are you saying? He said, "That's what it is. You got to work for it."
You got to work for it, And it's when you can earn medical insurance, for instance, through Screen Actors Guild, it's great. But if you can't make those points to get that medical insurance and you're not on Medicare yet, what you gonna do?
Recently, you did a project which you called Menopause Mama. Tell us about that.
I wrote about Menopause Mama because when I was 48, I managed to get myself into Brown University to work on my Master of Fine Arts degree in creative writing. I enjoy writing, and I didn't know if I could get in or not, but I did. One of the first pieces I wrote, besides my thesis, was a play I called Menopause Mama, and it was being written at the same time that Menopause the musical was about to get out there and blow up. Now, I saw Menopause the musical 3-4 times, and it was funny, and I laughed, but did I learn something about going through the change of life? No, because we women are not going to be standing there fighting over a goddamn pair of thong underwear. Thong underwear. I mean, yeah, I wore them too when I was younger and a fool, but no. My play, Menopause Mama, really dug into the research of what we didn't know, what our parents didn't tell us. And the 13-year-old girl who gets her menstruation and no one explains to her that she's got her period and that she's starting to have a menstruation. And one day, it's going to go away. It's going to, what we call withdraw. So I decided this is going to be one of my pieces. And even though Aisha Rahman, who was one of my professors, and Paula Vogel, Aisha said, "You're better than that. You can write better than that. And I knew that. I mean, she said my writing style was similar to um, a lot of Southern writers like Zora Neale Hurston. And I knew that too, because I'm from the South. But to be able to know and educate through the arts, that's what Menopause Mama was about, was to educate the women and the men and the boys, because we're all in it together. It's not a woman's thing all by herself. And there I am. Yeah, that's Menopause Mama with my fan, and I could snap that sucker open. And it was funny. I found the humor as well.
Yes.
But the facts of what it's about, going through the change of life for men and women, is called andropause for men. You know what I mean?
Show number 11, because there's something special about this one. Look at that. What were you doing there in that picture?
We were out there having a protest, for diversity, for all the things that there's some good people here in Rhode Island, and I'm really blessed to be here in this state. We've got Sheldon Whitehouse and some politicians who fight for all people. It's not just for Black people. It's not just for women. It's for all people together, because we are here together. So I was out there, just singing my songs and doing my rap song. Yo, listen up to the mama in her drama about the change. I'm feeling like an arrow target ready, taking aim. Some think I'm going crazy. Yeah, acting insane. Well, damn right, I got an attitude, but let me explain.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Another point that you wanted to talk about was Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival.
I loved working with Adilla Barnes.
Yes.
And it was the first place where people in LA got to see Menopause Mama.
Uh-huh.
And in fact, she even used a pose that I had on my cover of my program. She used it, it's a beautiful gesture of a woman like being proud and just snapping her fan and having this image. But Adilla used that image for a couple of years, I think it was, on her main advertisement. But it was the first place. And I love what she did. She talked about solo performance, and she still teaches some classes teaching people how to actually create solo performances. And I learned a lot from her, and I will always be grateful for that.
Diva is something, response, she's something else. She's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She does this every year and just keeps on getting better and better and better and better. Here's a picture. Tony, can you show number 12 there? This is a very interesting picture. This picture.
Oh, that is Gem of the Ocean, the August Wilson play that was written last, but it was at the beginning of his cycle. And I played on Esther. I actually, that was an incredible role to have. I was honored to have it. It was hard because it was 57 pages of dialogue for me alone. Okay.
Okay.
The play was about 3 hours, but yeah, August Wilson is one of my favorite writers. I mean, he's our Black Shakespeare. And to be able to have done so many of his plays during my career, wow, that was special. So that was Gem of the Ocean on Esther, a spiritual woman who was she was the community advisor, spiritual advisor. Mm-hmm.
Here's a picture that we saw. This is a gentleman, you worked with him. That guy.
Oh my goodness, yes, Carol O'Connor.
Yes.
In the Heat of the Night, and it's so weird about sometimes how things fall into your lap. I had just finished taking an acting class, acting for television and film, with Mary Jo Slater. And I finished the class, and a couple of weeks after I finished the class, she called me and she said, I think I have something for you. And she said, Alfre Woodard cannot do a role in the Heat of the Night, and it's a really great role. It's a guest spot. I think you're perfect for it. The director wants to meet you. And I'm like, the director wants to meet me? I don't have to go through the hoops. I don't have to jump through any hoops. Just go right to the director. So I got me a friend who was a great actor, coaching, and I got that part the way I wanted it to feel and be, landed it. He hired me right on the spot. And that was a blessing. Carol O'Connor and I sat on the set when we weren't actually working and sang songs from the 30s and 40s. And he could sing. It was wonderful. He was so kind and so much fun. And Howard Rollins too. I felt really comfortable working with them. Yeah,
See it all the time.
all the time. And my mother, when we flew to Georgia to film In the Heat of the Night, my mom was there. She put out the whole table, and fed people. And the same with Go Tell It on the Mountain. When we filmed that with Stan Latham and his little girl daughter. She was such a little girl then. And now here she is, a big famous actress. Good things.
There's been a lot of time changes. For example, artificial intelligence. What's that like for you?
AI for me, it's going to be helpful. I'm writing a lot. And, even though I have an MFA from Brown University, sometimes I still mess up some of the language. And it seems that when I put a chunk of my own writing into AI, I can see where a lot of things can be corrected. Not a lot, but some. But I don't trust it to actually write a story for me. I would not do that. But I do trust it to help me as an assistant. Let's put it that way, as an assistant, because it just grabs so much information, from the internet, from all over, from years, and it's amazing. So I think it's going to be helpful as long as it doesn't mess with artificial imagery of us and taking advantage of actors. And it can do that. And there are crooks out there who will try to do that. So it has its pros and cons, certainly. But I'm like one of those older people. I am not going to get left behind.
Good.
I'm not going to say I can't use the computer.
Right.
I am not going to say I don't understand AI, because I've been listening and taking, even on Udemy, those things, a master class. There are always things on the internet to learn how to use the computer and AI. I've even done it I've sat in on a workshop with professors from my undergraduate school alma mater, Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts.
Yes.
But learn how to use this stuff so we're not left behind. Even the medical, knowing how to use all of that, it helps us with our medical stuff. Otherwise, we're left in the dark and people will take advantage.
We'd like to show, before we leave, one more time of that video. Somebody, if you would. Yeah. Oh gosh. We got to get, once again, we got to get you back again, because that's just a smidge of what we like to do.
Yeah. And the one last thing I would say I have on there is about getting what you ask for. I have now learned, after some real deep falls down and getting back up, whatever you put into it, you get out of it. So be careful what you ask for. Right. That's all I can say, is be careful what you ask for. Yeah.
Rose, we most sincerely thank you so much to get you back on the program. We never get enough of you. All the many things that you've done. 50 years, my God. I'll say it again. Do come back again, please.
I will, Ron. Thank you so much. You're so brilliant for having done this. It's given so many actors a platform to speak their mind.
Two things I like to say to you. Break a leg, and may the Lord bless you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And may the Lord bless you as well.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Weaver. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll the photo there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here today to talk about a play called Spy for Spy. Now, the play is the Los Angeles premiere engagement of a romantic comedy, which opened on September the 5th and runs through October 10th on Thursdays at 8 p.m. It's at the White Fire Theater located at 13500 Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks, California, 91423. Now, the play was written by a gentleman named Karen Barry and produced by a gentleman named Zoe Allen. And can you go to the next one there? With us today, oh, there's a handsome young man looking at us. It's got to go. There he is. There he is. That is the handsome young man named Michael Massey. Now, Macy. Now, you're a theater director. You're a theater maker from Los Angeles. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
It is a privilege, Ron. How are you?
I'm doing good. And by the way, you've done so many things. This play that you guys put out there. I have a few questions to throw out there.
I'm
Number
delighted. Let's go.
Okay. How did you approach directing Spy for Spy with the unique nonlinear narrative structure? How'd you do that?
Yeah, so to give a little context to how Spy for Spy works, so the context is connected to a playlist so that every scene within the playlist order is shuffled. So that means every single time you come to the show, you're going to see it in a different order as it goes through. So because of that, we can't predict what the order is going to be every night. So within that, we had to kind of tackle it in two main ways, Ron. One of them was thinking about the storytelling aspect, and the other one was like the sheer practicality of how do we help the actors like feel prepared. So in the storytelling aspect, we started with what are our constants? Like what is it that we know we're going to be able to predict each night? And one of them is, well, it's going to be the same six scenes, so we know it's going to be the same story beats. We know we're going to follow all of this together. So how can we make sure that those make sense and those each have their own arc and then they can last wherever they're going to fit in the particular order? The second one, oh yeah. Oh, whose idea was that? So
Yeah.
who's it was it to shuffle it?
Yeah.
That was Kieran. So this was all planned from the beginning. So the entire structure is taken with that format in mind. So and that's the thing. Ron, I've seen it like 10 different ways by this point, and it works every time. And every time flabbergasted because Kieran has just done an amazing job of making sure the narrative threads like really go through. So that's the other bit. Kieran did a lot of the hard work for us. We just had to like lift a lot of it up. And then Ron, the second piece is purely practicality. So when you're running a show in order, you have the luxury of being like, if I preset this here, it will be here when I need it. Or if I have to use this prop twice, it will be here when I need it. We don't have that. So we had to really think through what's a design system that can work within practicality so the actors feel confident that when they need that keychain is going to be there every time.
You know, it's interesting when you talk about theater, because again, I have a bone to pick with a lot of actors and actresses. Have you heard about this bone that I've talked about several times?
Oh, give me the bone, Ron.
The bone is that people come here, they want to be a star. Nothing wrong with that. They come here to LA, they want to do what they want to do. They do television, they do film. They don't get up on that stage.
Yes. Yes. I will talk about this bone because I have a very similar bone. Because for me, it's like it's not about like theater's not about me. Theater is about like giving an opportunity to share a story, giving the opportunity to evoke change with somebody. If they want to take that, that's all for them as the audience. But I want to present something to you to like think differently, build empathy, see a situation in a different way. And so that's a lot of like my process too, is I just want to work with actors who really share that. I want to work with actors who share that wanting to go and see how can I give a gift to somebody over today. If it's about you, we have different goals.
Very nicely spoken. Very nicely spoken. What challenges did you face in ensuring each performance remains cohesive given the audience's role in selecting the scene sequence?
Oh boy. So with that's it. These are some wordy questions around level. So I think like the other bit is one with actors, one bit is they need to feel that they are encouraged and they feel that they are able to go up and give a performance that they're capable of. And so a lot of what rehearsal does is that it builds that trust. It builds confidence, encouragement that you know when you get up there, you're going to have some foundation to be on. And again, our order is swapped, Ron. We don't have that every single time. So it really became about how do we make sure that the actors, one, feel stable and knowing like the beat structure, they feel good. They know that, again, that audience random's going to be there every time. They feel confidence in what they're doing. They're getting the validation that like what's happening in the performance is actually yielding like the thoughts of the subjects of the playwright.
Yes.
So we wanted to make sure that was all built in. And what does it look like mechanically? One of them is we had to start early with like testing the random order. So we wanted to make sure to tell everybody this is possible. I promise you, it's going to be possible and you're going to be fine. So let's leap into that fear and then let's talk about it. And then with that, we can build on the structure that we need. So a lot of it just became a lot of let's just know it's going to be random. Let's throw it out. Let's get you comfortable and used to seeing that so you know it's possible so that we can build on the strength from what you can control.
You have two beautiful, good-looking ladies. Could you see the first one is Andrea Flowers,
Hmm.
and the other one is Megan Holloway. Two good-looking people.
Beautiful people inside
How'd
and
you
out.
get 'em?
How do we get them? So Megan is in knows Kieran, has been working on this play for a while. So I think this play is probably in its eighth life or so, and Megan has been along for the journey for a while. So she knows this play very, very well. Andrea and Megan work together at a play at the Road Theater Company. And
Uh-huh.
Andrea and I have worked together many, many times in our historical past. So uh, when they did a reading of this in Santa Barbara earlier this year. And so then when they knew it was going to turn into a fuller production, Andre gave me a call and said, Hey, there's a play happening that I think is exactly what you do and is like exactly up your alley. And I was like, oh boy, it is. Okay. So then we met and we were all able to like hit it off.
Interesting, because selecting actors and actresses, that gets interesting.
Hmm.
It's just one of those things that you have to deal with. Tony, if you get a chance, can you show us number 34? I saw that one. There they are, the ladies. There the ladies
Hmm.
are. Interesting, because there's a lot of things going on in the world and time and places right now. And people say
Hmm.
two women, what's wrong with two women?
Mm.
What's wrong with two men? These things happen.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And it's just interesting when you look at what is in the world today. People
Yeah.
get, particularly with all these politicians.
Yes.
Don't get me started. Please don't get me started. There's a guy.
Ron, I'll get started with you. So if you want to go down that train, I will gladly. I'll ride with you in the food car. We'll do it fine.
Okay, be kind and generous. Appreciate this.
Of course. Um, Also, if I may, like comment on that piece, I think that's something that Spice for Spy does that's so beautiful. Yes, it's a story about it's a love story between two women, but the focus is about how they exist and work in time and place, the
Yes,
challenges they go through in their relationships, the love they have for each other, the arguments they have, the compromises that they're willing to make, and they both happen to be women. So the story isn't trying to say like this is an example of like queer love. This isn't an example of a love story between two women. It's a love story and a love that we all face whenever we choose to bring someone into our lives and fight for it. And they both happen to be women.
synopsis for the play, please. Spy for spy.
Exactly. So Spy for Spy is a way to say it's love shuffled. So what happens is that we're going to see a relationship between Molly and Sarah that's going to be shown from the time that they meet until the time where they may have to make a decision whether or not they need to like part ways. In that we're going to be able to take advantage of the highs of the relationship whenever they're at the most connected and they're most able to listen, most able to take care of one another, and the lows when maybe they have a need that's stronger than the preservation of the relationship. And so, what do they do in order to make the choice to stay together if that's what they choose?
Wow, interesting. Spy for spy. That name alone by itself, it's interesting. I was looking at those two characters, but you know I'm talking about the spies.
Hmm.
That's not spies v spy. That's spy. You're spies for spy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh yeah, we could play the Xbox game Spy v Spy. I would be terrible at it. You'd beat me every time, but we could play it.
Now, as a whole, you started out earlier. You got about 3 more weeks to go.
Hmm.
How's the turnover been so far? Can you come in?
Ron, it's been spectacular. It's this is
Yes.
now Ron, I will say as a person who works in theater, sometimes not everything works out the way that you want it to, or not every story has the same like punch or impact that you're hoping it to be. This
Okay.
one happens to have it. in this like way that has been such a beautiful, like honored part of my career. So when people come and see this, it's just very like moving how they really connect it to, I know this person, this reminds me of my sister, or this reminds me of my relationship, or oh gosh, like I feel like I have the need to go talk to somebody after this. There's something that Kieran has done and that the actors have done to really bring this to a sense of connection with others and gets people to a sense of, can I change? Can I do something? So the reception on that's been beautiful. We just did three shows in Santa Barbara. I'm sorry, three shows in
Sure.
Sherman Oaks, the other S word. We
Yeah.
did two shows last weekend in Santa Barbara. We're traveling in the middle of the run. So we have three more shows in Sherman Oaks. We have two shows in Ventura and then two shows in Santa Barbara.
Was this played in England, London?
Yes, so it took place in London, I want to say 1 or 2 years ago. Somewhere Kieran is giving me an exact date, like falling down that I don't have. But yes, it had a life in London.
Okay, so it's moving around place to place.
I
Wow.
know, as if like on with spies, you're moving in your battalions from place to place.
How did you get into this business?
Oh wow. So I was a kid in small town Texas. I was in an elementary school and the high school next to us, you know, the one where you saw the same people every single time because you were just in a small town. They came and did a production of Aladdin at one point, and I remember looking at it going, dang, I want to be the genie. The genie looks fun. So that I think like catalysted off about I have this desire to be around here.
Yeah.
But I think what really cemented it and why I like this business is for me is there's just something about doing things with people. Like theater forces an environment where you meet people, you work with them for a very contained period of time, you know their stories, you know their struggles, you know who they are. And then you have to do this like Herculean effort to like get something up. And then just like hope it works out. And that comes with building bonds, building trust. And I personally have just never found anything else in my life that gives that ability of working with other people and just feeling that sense of connection in that. So that's the bug that keeps me going.
What is it that excites you the most about this play?
I think the thing, well, okay, selfishly as a theater watcher. So one is the fact that you can never not you have to be on your toes because you don't know the order. So there's this sense of, yes, I know the words I'm going to say. Yes, I know the thing I'm going to pick up. Yes, I know how I'm going to move. But you don't really know how that's going to happen in relationship with the rest of it. So there's this new element of live theater where I think you have to be actively involved, both as a performer and as a watcher, where you're trying to put the puzzle pieces together. So it's that sense of you really can't go in and just rest. You really can't go in and just be like, ha, it's like I'm with you, I'm active in all of this. And that's just something I haven't witnessed in a theatrical event in some time.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. We got a picture of the theater. Um, wait, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful Sherman Oaks.
Any more information you need to tell us as far as what date, place there? There it is. Oh, yes. Thank you. All those
Thank-
nice things that are said here. Revelation London Times, clever, funny, tragic. The reviews, gripping, brilliant, lost in theater. That's good stuff.
it is good stuff, and they're all true. It's like it's an again like I will tell you if anything I'm working on is like, Ron, you can skip this one, like go ahead, but this one there's something very very special about this production, and I think getting the opportunity to share it with you would mean the world, and I hope that you come away from it just feeling like something's different.
Thank you so much for getting it together. Give my best to the man in charge, and hoping that this will move on and on and on and on. And God, got 3 more weeks to go. We just said that. Break a leg. And of course, thanks to my good friend, you know, the publicist, Philip Sokolov. He was here last week. We made a special day for him. All three people, all from him, from here. He was the publicist for all three
Oh
people.
my gosh, he's such a great guy. He came and he came to opening and was like, "Where's Michael? I need to meet Michael." And it's like, my gosh, you like, took the time. Like it's just a delightful human.
You do know that he is an actor.
Oh, it shows. I just learned this in this moment, but I put those pieces together.
Yeah. Well, uh, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Massey, thank you so much. God
Thank
bless.
you so much, Ron. Take care, friends.
Okay, Tony, go ahead and run the next one, plus.
And my heart is filled with hope.
As I was teaching a broadcasting class at Santa Monica College, I found that he was not only a good student, he's a damn good student. He's got a great attitude about him. He earned a lot. And by the way, folks didn't know, but by the way, Gary, I have to let you know this. I retired from college. I'm not there no more. I had to let it go. And it's coming on 23 years. I thought it was time for me to shake it and break it. Okay. But so today, this guy is real good. I invited him to be a guest of our episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Gary Paul Holmes. Please, Gary, and welcome.
Good to be here. Glad to be here.
Yes. Thank you for working with us because I saw the telephone was ringing, but once we're on the air, I can't do anything about it. But I can at least I can work with Tony. Tony's real damn good at what he does. Okay. I got it real good. Let's talk about Mid-City Vineyard. Now, you showed us how you do and what you do and what your job is. You are, here's how we put it. Public school educator, performing arts, records original music, plays percussion drums at Mid-City, what's that word, that Vanguard Church in LA. And there you are. And you did a little things on yourself. You went to school, you got some education. I knew you had some education, but I didn't know you have a master's degree. You have you went to UCLA, you got a degree in Spanish and linguistics. You went to Cal State Dominguez Hills, you have a master's degree in multicultural education, we call it. You got a lot of education.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful. I've had the opportunity to attend school and take classes, and God willing, I just get to be a lifelong learner. It's really a privilege.
Can you bring your volume up just a little bit?
Let me see here. All right, let me see. Volume level. Oh dear. Let me see here. Hang on. Oh wow.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Any better?
Much better. Yes.
Okay, I'm just speaking up. I'm just speaking up louder. How's that?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay.
Now you came in our class, and this folks. I got to tell you what this is. This is Media 13. This is an underlying a chance to get into broadcasting. If you really want to do it, here's a way to check it out. And please tell our audience what's the first most important thing we say to them when you come on that, got it in your hands and get ready to say something.
Oh, Professor Ron, in terms of the class we took?
Yes, class is something. The first thing you do.
You have that poster, a little sign that says, "How badly do you want to be in broadcasting?"
Okay, that's one. That's one. But there's another one that gets a little bit closer than that.
I'm trying to recall. I'm racking my brain because I know to be in broadcasting, you have to want it really badly. It's not the type of thing that's going to walk up and get you. You have to pursue it. Oh, yes, yes. Blow your nose. Always blow your nose.
Blow your nose, folks. You might say, why did you gotta blow your nose? Because you don't sound like that. And we went through all that. And watching the other students, it was just interesting. Interesting. Do you think that you're going to stay with the broadcasting industry?
I think so. It depends on how things go. This semester, what I've been doing, and last semester, I've been working a little bit more on the stage and live stage. As like I wrote in the biography, I'm enrolled in the musical theater workshop at Santa Monica College this semester. But radio is there. I feel like the stage stuff is really good, but when you get in front of a microphone and you're reading scripts, there's still a lot of space for creativity there. There's a lot that can be done with it. And that's something I share with the other students who I happen to meet when I'm at Santa Monica, that, the stage is wonderful, but broadcast and being a voice artist is something that you can work with. It's a possibility.
One thing that you start out with, I see, is the Mid-City Vanguard Church. Can you tell us about that church?
Yes, at the Mid-City Vineyard Church, we're a little older than 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
We are a church plant. Our sending or planting church is the West Side Vineyard, and West Side Vineyard on Venice and Centinela. But at Mid-City Vineyard, they planted us about 5 years ago. That picture that you're showing, we set up and we tear down. We don't have our own building, but we set up and tear down every Sunday in a space. We're a mixed conglomerate of people, a happy group of people. Pastor Sandra Gier is our head pastor. She's our senior pastor.
Uh-huh.
It's a very caring church. It's a very open, welcoming church, where the love of God and the gifts of God can flow and, God's people grow. And one of our church phrases is that the best is yet to come. We like to bring out those gifts that are within.
Can you give us an idea about people who go there? How could it, suppose I want to get involved in it? How could I do that?
Just show up. We are at Los Angeles. We're at New LA Charter School every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. The school is located on Washington Boulevard between Burnside and Ridgely. Parking is available in back of the school as well as on the street. Some Sundays we have people out. We have our sign twirlers out. We'll get people out to with the welcoming signs, letting people know, hey, there's a church here. There's a church. Just show up. All are welcome. And a saying with all vineyard churches is come as you are. Vineyard churches started many, many years ago. So basically meeting on the beach. And it was like a compromise, where people were not as formal as your traditional formal church with church and organ, but they weren't ready prepared for the full Pentecostal experience. It was a middle ground. Come as you are, be comfortable, feel welcome. And you get God the Father, the Holy Spirit, and of course, Christ the Son. You get your basic fundamental teachings in a welcoming environment. But the key, show up. We're at New LA Charter School, Washington Boulevard, between Burnside and Ridgely. I don't have the actual address in my head, but if you Google us.
5301 West Washington Boulevard.
Correct. And many Sundays, not all Sundays, but many Sundays, we have a crew out there with signs that say, welcome, welcome. This is the place to come.
Actually, you enjoy obviously what you do. You play let's see, percussion drums.
Yes. The formal name for the instrument that I play is the cajon. I play it at church. Cajon drum. It has a long history, but it's quite a history. I'll tell you if you want me to.
Please, all ears.
Okay, well, it started way back during the slave trades, and those slaves from Africa that were taken to South America and Peru, different South American regions, they were not allowed to use their drums because in those days, African Americans, they could have used the drums as a form of communication, which oftentimes it worked. So the slave traders, they would not allow it. So basically what was done was the Africans, they began to take boxes, drawers, whatever they could get, anything and everything, and they began to do rhythmic instruments out of them. Over the centuries, the technology behind it has been refined. I know all the cajones now, and the one that I play, it has strings along the inner surface to give it its snare and its sizzle when you hit it. But and that's how they developed over time, over the years. And so now in this modern day, they're really finding their way because our church is small. We meet in the multi-purpose room of a school. So it sits well. We don't have the biggest space, but I think for the space that we have, it's easy to set up, easy to take down. The sound doesn't overwhelm our guitar player and the other instruments because so much of what we do is acoustic at the Vineyard Church. And one other thing I'd like to add about it is that, nowadays with the cajon drumming, a lot of singer-songwriters are actually requesting them and preferring them because it doesn't overpower them. It's just a voice. When you have voice and guitar, it's nice to have a wooden drum. Wooden drum, wooden guitar, it matches.
You there, folks? I told you that guy knew what he's talking about. That's good. Thank you. Tony, can you give us number 44 for just a second? This is a place where we are. Ah, there it is. Santa Monica College.
Yes,
Somebody is? The way we had it when I was that last time I was working on campus, for the last 2 years because of COVID-19, a lot of us have been at the professors. We were teaching off campus, so so we made it much easier for us. And at the same time, there's a lot of things going on again on that campus. And can you go to the next one there, Tony? Number 45. Yeah, all these different. And there's that's beautiful. That's at night. That's the student services building. So if anybody wants to get into what's going on at Santa Monica College, please give them a call. Just if nothing else, walk around and just look and see, am I right or wrong? That building, that campus is off the hook. I've seen a lot of changes in there. A lot of new buildings are there now. You got the Center for Media and Design, that's out there right now. You know, so there's a lot of different things you can go and see. Okay. I understand this fall you are participating in a musical theater workshop at this building.
Actually, the workshop is happening at the main campus. It's happening at the previous photo that you showed. It's we meet on the studio stage. There you go. That main campus, really close to that main student service building. There's the theater arts building, and so we're at the studio stage, and that's where we're practicing. And so by December, we're putting together a series of different routines from different programs and Broadway shows, solos, duets, ensembles. I believe it opens on the 13th of December and the 14th, and Saturday the 14th, but that's the weekend that we're going to have it. So it promises to be a good program. Our Professor Eric Martin, and also Gary Gray is our musician. And we have a pianist, Sung Hee. So we have a good crew running the class. So, we have lots of time to prepare what we're doing. So it looks to be a good program. I welcome people to come on out.
Yes. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
I have my website. It's I see my name on the screen. It's just like my name. It's GaryPaulHolmes.com. And so it's all lowercase though. It's all lowercase, GaryPaulHolmes.com, and they can reach me through the website. I have contacts and so forth. If something is going wrong with my website, they're free to contact you, and people know how to get your contact information. I'm not going to put it out there, but there's ways to find me. And also through Mid-City Vineyard Church, Los Angeles, and contact Pastor Sandra and just say, hey, I saw Actor's Choice. You have questions about the church, you want to know about, me. Well, that's another way you can contact me is by get in touch with Mid-City Vineyard Church. They have a website too.
Wonderful. Any further plans that you're going to be doing next year as we get into the new year?
Well, over the course of the year, my plans have been shaped. I think that I'm starting to feel more drawn to the theater arts classes at Santa Monica College. A year ago at this time, I was taking television production was the first thing I took. I took television production and I took percussion ensemble. And that was really good. I enjoyed the TV production class with Professor Fetzer. It was cool because every week was a different show. And people were running cameras, people were doing teleprompters, audio, playback, recording. Everybody had a job to do. And sometimes people were the talent on the screen. There was that, and then there was your broadcasting class as well. I might revolve around to the broadcasting, but at least with the acting, I'm working on voice, I'm working on presence, I'm working on movement. And so I began reading on the website the other night for Santa Monica College. I'm starting to consider maybe just picking up an AA degree. I might. What does it take? Because I'm taking the courses anyway, and then pursuing, see what I can do if I can get into more Santa Monica College theater, community theater. A little bit facetiously, but it could happen. I put it down as a goal. I want to be in a program, be at a show at the Pantages. It could happen. It'll be a lot of work, but hey, I put it out there. It'll be something at the Pantages. I'll go into audition, but it's one step at a time. And so right now I'm taking a class. You take a class, you get the class, you do the work. Everything is one step, one step, one step. And, I've learned from marathon running, you just keep on moving and you get to the goal. And so I've had experience with the LA Marathon. We used to meet, they still do, but when I ran with them, I met with a group in Santa Monica, the LA Road Runners, and we did a lot of running, just one step at a time. And that's all we can do.
So I tell you, this guy's something else. All you need is an agent, my friend. What you need. Got so many things going on around you. Tony, we got a chance to run this last video, if you will, 46C.
Holy, 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 you are so holy, holy, holy.
Who was that guy on the lower right-hand side? Who was that guy?
Yeah, who was that person?
Who was it? Ladies and gentlemen, Gary, thank you. That's all I can say is thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure working with you. Keep in touch. You know how to get in touch with me. If you have any questions,
Thank you, Professor Ron, for having me on this program, for having me on this show.
my pleasure, sir. Okay.
All right, have a great day.
Thank you now. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, for photography as an art. Ron Irwin's Lose Life, Way to Lose Weight. Larry Dufford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Mess in the Capsule. State Farm agent Carla Green and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's actor training facility. It's called an active space. Much thanks to our guest today, actress, singer, writer, producer, producer, director, actor Michael Massey, and plays percussion, drums, and records. He just saw Gary Holmes. Okay. The Actor's Choice is a presentation of B&B Productions. Rudolph Brewington is the president, and Sydney Chandler is our executive producer. Okay. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. I'm Ron Brewington. See you again next time.